You're watching The Ugly Inside? Subscribe below.
Ugly Inside TV outside St Mary's with Robbie from ArsenalFanTV. I can see you. Now you're smiling from ear to ear. Let's start off with the scoreline. Southampton 0, Arsenal 5. For me, embarrassment, boys versus men. What do you make of it, mate?
It was a bit boys versus men. I mean, we played really well today. When I was talking to you during the week, I thought it was going to be a battle of what the squads would be, because I knew after the taxing game that you lot had at Liverpool, you know, I thought, yeah, this is falling quite good for us. You're going to have to rest loads of players. We've both got games on Tuesday night. And when I saw the Southampton team, I was like, hey, they've rested more players than I thought they would. And when I saw our team, I'm like, even though we've rested a lot of players, some of those players that are coming in, you know, guys coming back from injury like Welbeck and Walcott, those are top players. Lucas Perez, you know, we paid like 16 million for him. He's hardly started this season, but he's still a very good player. Gibbs, you know, our squad players are kind of very good squad players, you know what I mean? And I think that's where you see probably, you know, like our teams like Arsenal, you know, their squads that they can put out. That's where they have the advantage over teams like your team. You know, because your first 11 will be really strong, but your second string's never going to be as strong. So I think, you know, we got off to a great start, which is something that we haven't been doing a lot recently. And then after that, there was just no looking back. I thought we were just too quick for you today.
Yeah, for me, actually, you made a good point there, and it's the quality, the strength and depth for us. Like you said, our first team was it's probably, you know, it's up there competing high up in the Premier League. But when you put the second string team out, it's, you know, today it was a bit of an embarrassment. Like we said, boys versus men. And after 3-0, after half an hour, I felt there was going to be more. There was going to be 3-0 in the second half or 12-0 cricket score, whatever you like.
Yeah, I honestly, I mean, I felt that, you know, we could come out in the second half and score a lot more goals. In the end, you know, even 5-0 is still great. You know, it's still great to score 5 goals. We got some big games coming up against Watford at home, and then a big one next week against Chelsea. And we really need to, you know, be on a good, you know, in a good place. And I feel that after today's game, the feeling running through the club now must be that we're in a good place, because that was an emphatic win today.
Yeah, and today actually our manager showed his hand. We were prioritising the League Cup. Obviously the players must have been fatigued or whatever excuse you can pull out the bag. But obviously Wenger wasn't on the touchline today. That obviously didn't make much of a difference, really, was it?
You know, just going back to that, I mean, I feel slightly sorry for you guys, because, you know, a lot of people probably going to say that, you know, with the FA Cup, why did you rest so many players? But it must have been, for looking at his squad, you know, the performance that you put in the other night against Liverpool, you're going to have to rest some players. I've seen it before with us in the Champions League, and that, you know, when you've had such a taxing game where you've, you know, had to spend a lot of time defending and you've just about got over the line. I mean, only a couple of days recovery, I just expected to see a lot of changes. So I think, whilst I know you guys will be disappointed, I think, you know, listen, you're into the final of the League Cup. If you can win that, which I think, you know, looking at Man United the other day, I reckon definitely you can win that, and I'll be supporting Southampton to win that as well. You know, it'll be a good season for you guys. But I think we caught you at the right time. You know, it fell perfectly for us today, and as I said, I kind of alluded to that the other night, that we'd have players that not only are they squad players that are coming in, but they've got real points to prove. Danny Welbeck has been out for ages, so it's his first start for the season, first start for over a year. He's going to be chomping at the bit. Walcott's been out since before Christmas. He's coming back here. He's going to be chomping at the bit. So I've felt that our players, they were right up for it. There was a massive following from London down here, so it all fell into place for us. And, you know, it's a great win. And but don't be too down on your guys, I don't think, because, you know, I think you've been doing all right this season.
And what's next for Arsenal for the rest of the season then, mate?
Well, listen, we've got over a little hurdle here because we don't come here and win often. Let's hope we can do the same at Chelsea. That's another place that we've got a bad record at. If we can go there next week, you know, beat Watford, go there next week and beat them, who knows, man? It could be a good season. It could be a very good season. And in the FA Cup, you know, we got a good record in this FA Cup. You know what I mean? We've won it twice out of the last 3 years. Let's try and go and win it again. You know what I mean? I think we've got a great chance of winning that. With our squad that we got, even making lots of changes, we can always put out a very strong team. So let's try and win that as well.
Robbie, you've been great. If you haven't already subscribed to Arsenal Fan TV, cheers, mate.
Thank you.
Nice one.
Cheers.